The whole issue of cost of living is extremely sensitive in the Kenya Kwanza circles because it is a gravy train on which many corrupt interests have converged. Cost of living cannot come down because the key people in the government are eating from it. That is why cabinet secretaries and other Kenya Kwanza shareholders recently fought over oil in the high seas. We got to understand that the housing levy, which even the courts have now found to be unconstitutional, cannot be scrapped because it is a gravy train. It is from this levy that the Kenya Kwanza hopes to build a campaign war chest for the next election. They forget that they may not get there. We realize that Kenya Kwanza cannot touch cost of living because it anchors the massive corruption that has returned to the country. We made it clear that we completely disagree with the government on the matter of cost of living. We made it clear that we will support the document ensuing from the talks, but we will treat the hard line on the cost of living at the beginning of another phase of this struggle. We will seek other ways to press the government to listen to the cries of the people and bring down the cost of living. The other ways will include, but will not be limited to, consultations with the people. At all times, we will retain the right to call on the people to take steps that we deem necessary to force the government to lower the cost of living. We also support the document with the proviso that certain aspects must be approved by the people by way of a referendum. To create the office of the leader of opposition or to formalize the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the people of Kenya have to have their say by way of a referendum.
All welcome.
Besides, it is a constitutional requirement that such significant restructuring of government must go through a referendum to avoid the mischief that may be played by some people going to court. It is also our stand
You are all welcome.
that this country cannot continue moving forward by being undecided. We have to agree whether we want a parliamentary, presidential system or a hybrid system.
Jordan.
Thank you. End of the statement. Yeah?
Rejecting this particular report. I'm speaking about Martha Karua and also Eugene Wamalwa, who's a member of that particular committee. Is it because that there is some disagreements amongst your team?
No, there's no disagreement at all on this issue. Honorable Eugene Wamalwa was here earlier on in the meeting of the summit. He only has had to leave because he had some pressing matter to deal with. But he approved the report as presented by the team. He had not been in the country when this report was being signed, but he's going to append his signature on the report.
College of the
Honorable Martha Karua is out of the country. We talked to her earlier on today. She is in Hargeisa in Somaliland, but she's traveling and will be back around 1 a.m. this morning. So she has no issue at all.
Another question here. My name is David Muthoka from KTN. And yesterday, the High Court came out to render the housing levy unconstitutional. But the joy amongst the majority of Kenyans was short-lived when the stay order was issued yesterday afternoon. And senior government officials today, including Lance CS Alice Wahome, have now come out to tell employers as well as workplaces that if they do not remit this 1.5%, then they will be fined and that there will be consequences. What do you make of that statement from these government officials?
I mean, I'm not surprised. That is not unlike Kenya Kwanza to try to ignore the rule of law. The court pronounced itself on this matter yesterday. And that is unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. And therefore, even though they say there's a stay, my view is that the matter still remains unconstitutional. And therefore, I would urge all the employers to immediately stop paying anything. Because you'll be acting unconstitutionally.
Thank you. That's fine.
I'm Chris Owino from Ramogi TV. Absolutely. My question is still in line with the question that Muthoka has just asked. Do you feel like it was uncalled for the three-judge bench to extend a grace period, or rather give the government a grace period, having said that that was an illegality? Was it uncalled for? I think what's your take?
You don't need to criticize actually.
No. We don't. It's a question of interpretation of what the court said. But the court made a very fundamental pronouncement that this matter is unconstitutional. Period.
Yes.
It's unconstitutional.
As
A stay does not make it constitutional.
Okay, thank you very much.